The D man.
Yeah, shout out my nigga from D's Media, you feel me?
What y'all want for Speedy? I want the top for Speedy, right? The $1,000. Personally, I want mine 2, 3.
I definitely seen that, and it kind of, I when I looked at it, I looked at it a lot of times, and if that's the case, I mean, it looked like an old. It's a trip how videos come out now, but uh, if that's the case, it still wasn't. It wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? No matter what they coming up with and all the things that I have seen now that my son has done on the internet, I didn't get to see until he passed away. So when I seen all of this, yes, I was really crushed, like, cause in my eyes, I didn't, my son didn't show me that, so I didn't see that, and I wouldn't expect nothing like that from him, and it was still wrong. But in the end of the day, they all was out there doing wrong, doing whatever they was doing. And I feel like if that was the case, okay, yeah, he did. If that was the case, like it seemed like an old video where he was still cool with or still hanging with Jada and them. I don't know when the video came from or when it was. It seemed old, but it's still wrong. And um, if that's the case, it still doesn't give nobody the right and take his life. You know, that's just how I feel about that. They always out there doing the same thing. Then, if that's the case, if that's how they looking at it, because I hear them saying like, "Oh, what if that was Speedy, mom on the shoes on the other foot?" Okay, well, it's not. So, um, he decided to snake him and do whatever he decided to do on his own, and he wanted the spotlight, and he wanted the world to know he did it. So that's you have to take complication. You have to take accountability for that, for what you did. Period. Even if you come up with that he was trying to plan on whatever he was trying to plan on doing it, whatever it was, and we know how the street go. You know, ain't nobody muck you won't get them first or this, however it go. So, with that being said, you letting the world know what you did. You still did it. You did it, and now my son, he just gone. So now he got the spotlight he was looking for, and now he got to accept he got to accept his responsibility for it. That's just how I feel about that. That wasn't right. If that video, I mean, if that was what they was speaking on in that video, hell no, I don't condoning that at all. Because like I said, I would if I'd have knew my son was doing any of this, what I done seen on the internet, for sticking up people and doing this and doing that. No, I don't condone in that, and that's why he hid it from me so good, because he would have still been here, but he would have been in Chicago. I'd have got him up out of here. Period. Because I'd give him a different scenery. Because that is not what I wanted for my son at all. Just how I feel about that video, though. It's he trying to find a way to, what I guess, feel like a victim, or a reason for. Now he's giving a reason of why he did what he did. It still don't make it right for what he did. Period. Man, everything I seen was me. I had to sit down and look. I looked at it so many times. Like, everything was shocking to me, because when I look at my son, I always looking at him like he was. I ain't gonna lie. He was like an angel around me. Like, he didn't show me nothing, and I only knew his other group of friends. Like I say, I never seen Speedy and them but that one week before. So I only allowed his other group of friends that he come up with around the house that he grew up with to be around. So, like, when I saw that, especially him chasing the police squad car, Lord Jesus, that was something. I said, man, I knew he had to be taking some or something, because ain't no way he would have did nothing like that. And that's just that. And then it was another video where I seen him. It looked like he was sticking up a Mexican or something. And I'm like, what the? But me looking at him and he's so little, I would not think, oh yeah, my son, he out there sticking up, is doing that. No, I would have never thought that. And if I would thought that at all, he wouldn't have been out there. That's why he didn't let me know, because he wouldn't have been hanging with them. Period. I'd have found somewhere for. He got family everywhere. I'd have found somewhere for him to go. Period. You know but yeah, that him chasing everything that I saw was a shock to me.
How do it feel to learn everything from the internet?
Really crushing, because like I only got the good memories of us, like us at home, and just certain little things at the house, which I really didn't have a lot of time to be like, sitting talking with him, because I had to work. So it's like them my memories of him in the house. It's like, it's sad that I gotta go on the internet to see anything else about what he was doing, period, because like I say, in the house he was different. So it hurts my soul, man, to go on the internet and see it, because it's like I'm not seeing nothing but him, with these kids, and they rapping, dissing, and doing the crazy acting, just doing crazy. So yeah, it really crushes me, because that's just not how I knew him. So it's kind of messed up, and everything I see is like negative, and it's crazy. And I gotta say that, and I gotta look at this, because it's still, at the end of the day, that's my child, and I want to know. It's bad that I gotta see now what he was doing, and I didn't have a chance to sit with him every day, and see what he was doing. It's terrible. It hurts real bad. It really does. Well, it's like before that happened with my son, I was that. I mean, it hurts me to see that happen to any kid, because like I say, I always love the shorties, man. I didn't know they was out here that bad. Like, that's how bad I don't really be on the internet or none of that. So,
Right,
like I say, I'll go to work and come home. So I really don't know what's going on this internet.
right.
So I didn't really know they was just out here this terrible until after my son passed. But before he passed, I was seeing, it was a few. I was like, bring tears to my eyes, because they babies. They still babies to me. I mean, they are babies. And to see them out here and this what's going on, man, it crushes me. This was before my son was seeing kids getting, still hurts. And I used to tell him, like, when I actually found out that he was and by that time, it's already too late, because this, like I said, it was like 3 months, 4 months before he passed that I even knew he was rapping. That
Right.
I even heard one song that he rapping, and I guess that was supposed to be the last one he made. Oh, so yeah, I mean, that hurts a lot. I mean, I even if it wasn't my kid, man, because like I say, I always have loved the shorties, because I once was a shorty, and it hurts to see the kids just, not sticking together. Period. I hate to see any that, because kids we not supposed to bury our kids at all. They supposed to bury us, and it hurts. It really do.
You speak on like how the transformation is going from not being on the internet at all to once you do an interview that Jada and then everybody responded. Can you speak on that? Like,
Oh yeah. Well, I prepare. I know how to. I'm not worried about nobody really how they feel, feeling, and or what they got to say. You know, if they not saying nothing positive, or saying condolences to my son or none of that. So I really don't pay that attention, because I mean, for one, they kids, like I say, but they into a lot of deep shit. And
right,
it's like, I don't know, if it wasn't the internet, none of it, I mean, I guarantee you, none of this be going on. Like, these kids don't be outside and come. I mean, they just internet. crazy. It's crazy that they use the internet for this type of, I don't know. I don't have nothing really, I don't know what to say behind that. I really hate they even got the internet and these kids got access to do all this they be doing and they don't, it's ridiculous to me.
Do you feel like at times that you have to get on the internet at times?
I've been on the internet now more than I ever been on the internet. Like, and it's only been since my son passed because and guarantee you it hurts to see things, but I have to look at these things. I have to. It can be something I miss. It can be, and then I want to see every moment, even if and even if most of them bad, I want to see everything that he ever had dealings with. Like, period. But it takes a lot out of me to look at that, though. It really do. You know.
Do at times you feel like that it get overwhelming and you gotta, shut the phone off?
It's very hard. Like I said, um, I have to look at these things. So yeah, so it's like, it hurts to look at it, but I have to. That's my child, so I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. Period. Whatever it is, whatever it got to do with him and only him, because this what I do this for him. I got to see, you know. But it hurts. Of course, it's gonna prove but now I know why he kept it from me, you know. But yeah, I still got to look at this stuff. I wouldn't care what somebody's saying, or you know what I'm saying. I don't pay them kids no attention because they want to get their little likes and views up and people to look at their pages and all this. I don't know what it is, but you know. I don't pay them kids no attention, but if it's come saying something about my son or you putting up a picture, just keep on doing what y'all doing. To see everything, my son ever was out there doing. That's why I be on the internet so much now. I'm not an internet person, but it's the most I ever been on there, and I'm gonna stay on there now because it seems like everybody be coming up with something new every you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to miss nothing. I'm quite sure I won't though, because I got a lot of shorties, a lot of people that send me things too that make sure I don't miss it. But I'll still be on there. But it's something I don't want to. It's a sad. This the reason that I have to be on the internet.
Right.
It's because of my son. But yeah, it's messed up because it's different. But I don't know where they come up with that. Like, but that's in their era. Like, I don't understand. That's like the younger they way beneath me. Like, they the younger generation, but the thing is, I believe if they had somebody sitting down talking to them or telling them or trying to even help them to lead them in a different direction, they would probably maybe some of them would listen. Like, I don't know, maybe a lot of them don't have parents that um sit down and talk to them or try to tell them about things like, life, period. Maybe things they done been through in the past or, but then you got some parents that do because like me, like, it could be some parents out there that actually don't know what their kids doing and, you know, have done everything they possibly can. Like, if I sit down, talk to their child, I have sat down a couple of times and talked to my baby when I found out he was, because like I say, literally, I thought he was just out there stealing cars. Right. And he had slowed down from that. He had stopped. I clearly thought he had stopped. He was, he was doing good for a while. But I really think that if a lot of these older people sit up there and they talk to these kids and tell them something different, they probably would listen, especially to certain people, like certain people they look up to. But the people they look up to is clearly because ain't trying to change nothing. They just egging these kids on and letting them think it's cool. And I think it's real sad I think parents I think parents should do more if they know their kid out here doing this, and they see this. Because you got some parents that be out here kicking it with their kids like they friends. Something that I would never do and never did ever. I think they just need to get their kids, man, because I mean ain't nothing like having to try to plan a funeral for your child, and when you could have did something to prevent it. So if you can, if these parents can stop it, and they see it right now, and they really care about their child, they need to stop it. Because I mean, if it means taking your kid out of the city, or whatever it may take, because if I could have had that chance, that's what I would have done. And he was going out of town, but he was on that band, so I had to literally wait. But it hurts. And if you can stop that, they need to, because I mean, it's out of control, man. And ain't no reason these kids should be out here against each other like they are. They get high and think they, Superman or Terminator, somebody, and then they go against each other. And it's sad. I'm still pray for these kids, because I mean, like I say, I love the shorties. Now system sucks to me. Like they pathetic. They don't do, they go in, they come in for 2, 3 of them been caught with. They sit in there for 2 weeks, they send them home. All they shot it, they did this, they sent them in there for 30 days and they sent them home on electric monitor. Like, I just don't understand it. They know that the kids really don't even care. They not caring about this electric monitor now. I don't know, but I think they suck, man, and I think they should be these juveniles should be punished more for what they be doing. If you're doing a grown man crime, you should be charged as a grown man. That's how I feel. The parents don't want to cooperate. Oh, you don't want to get your child in. Like, if they would have called me and telling me constantly that my baby was doing this or doing that, or he out here. Now, I'm going to step foot and I'm going to make sure he stop, or I'm going to be trying to make sure, I ain't going to just not think about it or not, or say, what I'm saying? Man, it's just, man, it's ridiculous. Police, they too. I think they need to do more than what they doing, because to me, they act like they scared of the shorties they sell. They are out here doing crazy police or whatever they doing and all type of stuff. But when you sign up to be a police, you know what come with that job. So, I mean, they should be ready and prepared for anything. And then you got people, they out here, people are doing this and doing that. That's the thing. That's what y'all should be working on. Y'all should be focused on like that, not bothering people with tickets and ratting older people trying to go to work. And then y'all need to get them little kids off the street that's out here, people, and letting it be known that they the people, even if they ain't, they want to be. So I don't know what it is, but the police is just, they act like, and then maybe they ain't getting paid enough. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it's all type of stuff. A lot of them losing their life. Like I say, I believe they scared of a lot of people, but they shouldn't be police officers. But I think they suck, and I think they need to do more than what they doing. They don't look into nothing. They don't do nothing right. Like, when you see on TV and you watch First 48 and all this, Chicago, you barely see that up in here. I done seen a few cases from Chicago, but Chicago police, they don't do nothing. Like you say, that's how I feel. They only do for the month. They do the little 8 hours, probably sit in the car, ride around, hit a few blocks, do the little 8 hours, try to catch a paper, a ticket, somebody or whatever, and that be it. They ain't trying to really do nothing, serve and protect. They don't do that. They don't. Well, like, it be different strokes for different folks. Like, all money ain't good money. I mean, if you feel he got talent in rapping, he could free. Then if he got talent, then he could freestyle. He could rap about something else. You could give him something else to rap about, something positive, something making money, something about rapping, making money, or how he coming up, or coming up in Chicago. Anything that's trying to diss or talk about the next person, the dead person, or this or that. I don't understand that, because money is not worth your life. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if you rapping about certain people in these songs, how long that's gonna take, or how long it be before you get on that money gonna take you, or I mean, all that's not worth your life to me. I mean, but that is the truth. I mean, when you when you decide you want to be in the streets, and you find out how the streets is, but see, at their age, they just getting out. They haven't even been in the streets long enough for to know nothing. They not even halfway grown. They even 15, 14, 15, 16 years old. How could they even know about the streets? They don't even know about the streets yet. All they know is what they done seen the next person or the person older than them, or what they done seen, period. But I feel like, yeah, when you get in the streets, you got to know what the streets come with. And us grown ups, we know what the streets come with. We know what it come with. Think about the consequences, everything. But these babies, they don't know no better. And then they take it, their brain already ain't fully developed. So I mean, it's all bad. It's all bad. The change. I don't know. They not trying to change. Gonna say, yeah, it is hard. I mean, like I done seen them like, yeah, okay, but I can't keep saying like, damn, I can't believe it, or I'm literally looking at it now, so I'm knowing like, damn, he was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. And I be sitting thinking about like, how the fuck, like, did I miss, like, when did he get to jump off the porch? I'm like, what time? Like, this nigga just 15. I'm like, and I'm like, damn, when did he, because it just, like I said, it shocked the hell out of me. But like I said, when I saw it, I mean, yeah, now I see this. So now I know, yeah, he was in the streets and he was doing some he didn't have no business doing. But it's, I mean, now he gone, and that cost his life. And it's like, I mean, you would think kids would change after they see something like this, but they don't. So it's like, I done saw it, and I mean, still nothing I can't do nothing about it now, but that's not gonna make me not stand on justice for my baby.
Right.
I'm still gonna stand 10 toes down for him, whatever, because what they all doing out there ain't right. Everybody that's pointing a finger or saying this and saying that or putting these videos out, they out here doing the same thing. That's exactly where he got it from. So he you know, they saying this why he died, but see, this is gonna be the same reason. Well, anyway, it's just like I said. Now, no matter, I hate he was out there doing them things, but he did
So
it, and what's done, what was done. So now, now it's time for the consequences. So it's nothing I can say. I'ma still stand 10 toes down from him. Nah, he wasn't doing right, and all that's like just like it just took my heart out my damn chest or something. But that's still my baby. When Lil 50 crashed, when he passed away, boy, I had a tear in my eye. I only saw him one time maybe, but I still had a tear in my eye because he was a baby, and I'm like, damn, and I knew that he was at once. Him and my son was friends at one point of time. So, I thought I was really telling them something when I got him out of jail. I'm like, then I say, your friend got passed, got they in there like the county. They already know. I'm like,
right.
it's crazy, but that man, that it hurts, man. Just to see any of that. What they put up, they gonna do a lot of that. That stuff don't matter. That stuff don't bother me. Like I said, all I remember is good moments with my child.
Right.
That's all that I try to keep in my head. I try to knock out all that. Of course, they gonna put up this, they gonna put up that, they gonna say this about them, they gonna say this. You got the haters, the trollers, the fans, the all of them. But at the end of the day, they all, they gonna put it up. But ain't nobody now ain't nobody perfect. Nobody.
Right.
At that age, the kids still trying to figure out what they doing, who they want to hang with, where they want. You know what I'm saying? They don't. they ain't, like I say, they ain't even fully developed yet. So they not know, they still growing. But when you taking and you doing that in that brain, especially when you got a small brain, it's not even fully. So a lot of these kids don't be thinking. And my baby, he couldn't. He is a lot of times, a lot of things I done seen on that internet. He was not thinking straight, and I said no. I knew then and there that
Do
he
you
was often felt he was trying to be like somebody else. It's clearly he was seeing this somewhere and was trying to be like somebody else. I knew for a fact. I knew he got with a wrong set of friends. That's after the fact, but I knew he wasn't. He definitely wasn't himself on these videos. I know he was trying to be, or maybe he was trying to impress his friends at the same time because he was a little show off. He liked the little, like the little show off, but he definitely was a little hard body. Like he'd fight. He a fighter. That just running his blood. Certain things I know that he just, he a little tough, but the things that I saw that he was doing, I would have never thought. But they say you just got to get more into your kids' life and know what they doing and know they friends, because that wasn't him on these videos. I'm like, and I see him and I watch him, look at him and just laugh. But when I see his face, it's just different because I just always that's
from here on out, if any videos came out or if any parents came out and said that your son did this or your son did that, what's your take on it
yeah
from you in the streets and your experience? Because you know how the streets go. Once you get in them streets, you in them streets. Like, how you feel for the other parents that may say your son did this or your son did that, or you may hear a person like Jada say, "Woo, woo, woo, woo." What would you say about that?
yeah. Well, I don't pay her no attention, but to the parents, I would, and you know to anybody that my son, if he ever either did anything wrong to, or just anything wrong to, I apologize to him because I know, deep down inside that wasn't really the person he was. He was really trying to be something he wasn't. You know,
Right.
and if he hurt anybody, and or I truly apologize for that.
Only saying something now because people speaking on it. Whoop whoop whoop. Can you confirm or not confirm and say, you know what? If nobody ever rap about my child, you would never hear me on the internet.
Like, yeah, they gonna see me on the internet now. I would never have been on here, you know, if this tragedy, it
Right.
would have never happened. You know what I'm saying? Then you got people that's out here that won't stop mentioning his name. You know what I'm saying? They keep rapping about him and talking about him. Like,
Everybody to understand is this, right? I want everybody to understand that when you go and you make these songs and you troll and you keep poking at the bear and you keep speaking on, people, loved ones, whether they was in the streets, whether they knew what was going on, whatever the case may be, certain backlashes is what you have to accept. I feel like a lot of these shorties, they so worried about the internet that they don't think about the victim's family. And I feel like in your case, if your son wasn't in everybody's song that's a drill rapper right now, I don't feel like you'll be on the internet. You probably be
no,
on Facebook or something like that, but I don't think you will be on the internet. That's just from what I get from you. Can you speak on
no,
that?
you definitely right, because I wouldn't be on the internet. I've been actually coping and trying to chill. It's been 2 years since my
Right.
baby been gone, so I've been trying to chill. You don't think thinking about no little shorties.
What's the cutoff for you? Because the one thing that everybody, especially parents that have kids that was in the drill era, you have to accept ignorance. And what I mean by that is you have to accept the fact that it's gonna be somebody that just jumped off the porch that ain't never met your son a day in his life gonna say woo 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 woo.
Yeah.
What's the cutoff for you that you be like, you know what? I know y'all gonna talk about my son, but this is where that's enough. Because I feel like maybe if you sit there and you say that's it, You know, maybe
Well,
certain
especially
people.
the people that don't know him. I don't really care. I laugh at that. That's funny to me because I know they either fans, they hating, or
In them streets, right? You know, take aside that you a mother. When you was in those streets, can you identify certain things that these young dudes is saying like those are street rules? Because I feel like a lot of parents, they not really looking like when they was probably in the streets like that. Can you identify that some of these young dudes you could be like, you know what, that's street rules.
well, they yeah. It's the street rules always gonna still be the street rules though. Like even with their generation, they don't they I mean, well not with they don't understand because like when we was coming up, the street rules you got like we didn't play with the police. We didn't play with them at all. Uh it wasn't no snitching. It definitely wasn't no backdooring your homie or none of that.
Do you feel like this, like the situation would be different, and you would feel a little bit different if you felt like, you know what, it was from somebody that was woo woo woo, maybe not
Or
even.
like he was actually doing something bogus or something out there in the streets, or like actually something that like
Yeah,
you
versus
know
somebody that he might have allegedly been cool with or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at the end of the day, his life got took, so it's all bad with me either way it go.
I feel
But
you on that.
but it really hurts me when I know that he went from somebody that he thought was close to him. That's how I
Right,
know it because and he, you know, like I say, he thought he was close to. He was in the house with him, like because if you wasn't close with him or he didn't want kicking with you, I mean, you wasn't gonna be in the house with him. So it's like,
right,
that really is something, especially when I just was in there and I just spoke to that boy on Thanksgiving and he hit me with the OG move, like OG. It hurts when it comes from somebody right there and they looking you right in your face and then the next week they go child. So it's different when it come from somebody that's close to you. It's real. That I mean that's some snake shit. Because when a person has to snake you, it's usually because they scared of you.
right,
They scared. It's nothing. I mean, that's the only way they figure they can do this because you know. Because only scary people do that type. Nobody finna snake. I mean, you're not out here in no real war. You're not out here doing no real shootouts or into real beef or nothing. You just sit up here and snake your friend. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's really much more different than me knowing he got or out there shooting, doing something
Right.
that I really feel like he just got snaked from somebody from just jealousy or period. Either way it go, his life got taken and I'm not okay with that.
For,
That's just that wasn't right at all.
for everybody out there that say, these media, you wrong, this is a little bit policey and everything. How can you speak on, and this is really the last question. I know I keep saying it, but this is the last one. But I just want your take on it because you can understand me a little bit. How do you feel on where people can make 1,000 songs and the one moment that you do an interview or the one moment that you post something or the one moment that you comment on something, you the police? Can you speak on that? Because from your
Cause I'm gonna
standpoint,
be the police when they making songs though. You know what I'm saying? For one, I don't affiliate with the police. Well, I'm deal with the detective. Of course, the detective on my son case gonna be on the case. But at the end of the day, how the hell, nigga, they don't you telling on yourself when you making songs.
right,
Everything. Like this is what you want you done made this song. So now the whole world knows. The police stays on this side and stay on these type of things. So they probably one of the first ones that see it. So I
right,
mean the only police person can be is they self because you rapping about it. Like back in the day, like I say, that's another difference. When back in the day, if we did something, we didn't talk about it. You
right,
wouldn't even know we did it.
right.
You know what I'm saying? We'd be sitting there laughing. Oh, they think such and such did it, or whatever the case may be. Like back in the day, we ain't come up like that. That's like kissing and telling. That's like running. You know, we just never did that. You know, but now these kids they want to do let it be known. So now that's why the police be on.
What I wanted to make clear up with you, because I heard a lot of people say, well, y'all shouldn't have did the interview, woo woo woo. But I say, well, if he can make 13 songs, what's the difference? If I ask
Well,
every
who shouldn't
question,
have did the interview? Why shouldn't we did the interview? What's the wrong with doing the interview? They
right,
rapping songs about it, putting their name, putting it. You know what I'm saying? So why? I mean, you can make songs, we can make interviews. What's the difference?
okay, that's all I wanted to clear up, because I felt like every question that I brought up was already out there already. I don't feel like we had a discussion on anything that wasn't already in a song, on a blogger page, or that was already out there.
Right, and you good for doing for what you doing because at least you what you doing is trying to talk and actually get the true facts of things that's going on because you like I say people be doing and do things differently. Like you know, see, that's a lot of things trouble with people now. They can't talk. I mean, they don't know how to talk. Communication is a motherfucker. But but you doing right because I mean, all you doing is reacting to what you've already heard and seen. So now you just trying to really get the true facts from the sources, people. That's all. I mean, you're not doing nothing wrong.
And I thank you so much for clearing that up, and that make me feel a little bit better. I don't really care about the views or anything like that, but I just wanted to clear up to know that, like, that I feel like at times when I interview somebody or I do something, I'm the police, but you can sit back and you could do the same thing on a song and it go double platinum. Like, what's the
Right,
difference? Like, I feel
right,
like if you're gonna keep it in the street, keep it in the street. But once you bring it to the internet, that's my world. Like, I mean,
exactly.
you
Don't
know.
get mad when you respond to it. Ain't that what people bring to the internet for it to be seen, right?
Appreciate you again. I definitely ain't gonna take up too much of your time. I had a lot of technical difficulties on my end. I definitely appreciate you for working through with me. I hope you have a blessed, wonderful day, and condolences go out to your baby. I'm so sorry. Then when you telling me that your baby's birthday was coming up, I want you to speak on
It,
that before we get out of here. Can you speak
yeah,
on that?
I'm
How,
I'm a,
how old he
I'm
is?
gonna do it big. I gotta turn up for his birthday because I know he'll be sitting there happy having a seafood tray and goddamn it doing his thing. He'll be seven. He would have been 17. His birthday tomorrow.
Condolences go out to you, and I appreciate you for being strong and sharing your pain, your struggles, and everything that you went through. And my line is always open. Anytime you ever want to speak or anything, my platform is yours, and I thank you so much. And to his sisters, to his family, to his loved ones, to everybody, I thank y'all so much for y'all sharing y'all story.
All right.
The D, man. Yeah, shout out my nigga from D's Media, you feel me?